Hey everybody, long time no see. Not much has been going on, so that's why I haven't been making any videos, but I'm working now nights 4 p.m. till midnight, 12:30, and so I'm sleeping most of the day anyway. But I just got something that I've been waiting for, or waiting to try for a long time. This is HelloFresh. I've been wanting to try these meal delivery kits for a long time, and my sister sent me a coupon for a free box. So here it is. Let's unpack this. All right, let's see what's in this thing. Oh, recipe cards for all the meals. Nice. Nice. Yum. That's good too. Delicious. Can't wait. Welcome to America's #1 meal kit. Read that later. Give a free box of deliciousness. So if anybody wants one, send me a message. I'll send you one of these guys. I've got 3. Let's see what's actually in the box. Nice. This feels nice. It's like a cooler. It's cardboard, but insulated. Okay, let's see. Ground beef. Very good. Oh, cool. There's the freezer pack. Recycle me. I want to see if I can put that in my freezer for a little bit. My freezer's so small, I think it's just big enough for this. I don't put anything else in there. I don't know if that'll fit. Yep, fits like a glove. Stuff on here. I don't know when that happens. So I don't if you didn't see the beef flautas supreme there. The kicking Cajun pork sausage and stuffed peppers ingredients are in here. Sweet chili pork and cabbage. Balsamic rosemary pork chops. Yum. PESTO PANKO chicken. Alright. Don't forget about the ingredients which may be hiding under the ice. So there's another ice pack in here. And more ingredients. Looks like chicken breast, chicken cutlet, ground pork, boneless pork chops, and sweet pork sausage. Alright, so if these are the meats, put these away right now. Alright, let's get the ingredients out of this bag. We've got, not in this particular order, but a ½ cup of jasmine rice, an ounce of sweet Thai chili sauce, 5 teaspoons of rice wine vinegar, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 unit of crispy fried onions, 4 tablespoons of sweet soy sauce, some ponzu sauce, the 10 ounces of ground pork, 4 ounces of red cabbage and carrot mix, and a 1/4 ounce of cilantro, which I just realized they didn't include in this package. They gave me scallions instead. So the first step, they say, is to wash and dry the produce and then to make the rice. They give you instructions how to make the rice, but I've got a rice cooker, so I'm going to skip that step for you guys. Let's get to chopping up this scallion, separating the whites from the greens. We're going to use the whites with the pork and then the greens as garnish on top. So the next step is, while the rice cooks in a small bowl, which I have to admit, I think Ross left that here last time he was here visiting, but don't worry, I'm taking good care of it. Combine the sweet soy glaze, the chili sauce, the ponzu sauce, and half of the vinegar, which I think I use all of the vinegar. Then it gives you a tip. If you like sweeter sauce, stir in a pinch of sugar. I don't have any sugar here, so I left that step out. Alright, so the next step says heat a large drizzle of oil in the pan. That's the steam from the rice cooker covering your view there. over medium-high heat. Add the scallion whites, pork, and garlic powder, seasoned with salt and pepper. I had just run out of pepper, so I'm not going to be using that in this part right now. Using a spatula, press into an even layer. Cook undisturbed until brown on bottom, 3 to 4 minutes. Break up the meat into pieces and continue cooking until pork is cooked through, about 1 to 2 minutes. Stir in the sauce and cook, stirring until slightly thickened, about a minute more. Stir in the red cabbage and carrot mix into the pan with the pork. Cook until just tender, about 2 to 3 minutes. Taste and season with salt and pepper. Turn off the heat. Fluff rice with fork. Stir in 1 tablespoon of butter until melted into the rice. And then divide the rice between bowls and top with the stir fry and crispy fried onions. Then it says to pick the cilantro leaves from the stems, but they didn't give that to me. Roughly tear and sprinkle over bowls and serve. This dish was really, really good. And, quick. I mean, it took 20 minutes because the rice took 20 minutes, but the pork, took 10 minutes. And I did that at the same time, so yummy and quick. My 2 favorite things. Alright, and for this recipe we get 12 ounces of Yukon Gold potatoes, a half a cup of panko breadcrumbs, a half a cup of mozzarella cheese, 12 ounces of chicken breasts, 2 tablespoons of pesto. What's not included is some olive oil, salt, and pepper. Alright, and the instructions go to wash and dry all the produce, adjust rack to middle position and preheat the oven to 450 degrees, cut potatoes into half-inch cubes. Toss the potatoes on a baking sheet with a drizzle of olive oil and a pinch of salt and pepper. I'm still out of pepper, so I'm going to skip that. Roast it until brown, 20 to 25 minutes. Now I'm going to be using my air fryer, so it's going to take a lot longer. I think I put it in there for 10 minutes, 12 minutes the first time. Next, I'm going to prep the green beans. I'm going to trim off any ends that seem woody or whatever. Then I'm going to, in a small bowl, combine the panko, mozzarella, and a drizzle of olive oil with a pinch of salt and pepper. The next step is to prep the chicken. Brush with 1 tablespoon of the pesto on top. I put a little salt first. Repeat with the other piece. You will have some pesto left over. I think I ended up using all of the pesto on there. But one tip for this, next time I make it, is I'm going to keep the rest of that pesto and mix it in with my potatoes and the green beans. So it says to press the crust from that little bowl on the chicken, pressing to adhere. Roasted the oven until chicken is along or pink in the center, about 20 minutes. The potatoes are pretty much done at this point, so I take them out. I'm going to put the chicken breasts in there before I cover it with the panko and mozzarella mixture, so I don't spill everything everywhere while I'm transferring it. And then the chicken goes into the air fryer to cook about 10-15 minutes. Alright, the chicken's done, so I'm going to pull it out of here and take its temperature, make sure. And then I'm going to take it out and replace it with the green beans and the potatoes one more time, just to heat everything up together while the chicken rests a little bit. Alright, the green beans and the potatoes are done, so I'm just going to divide them onto the plates with the chicken and enjoy my dinner. Alright, the ingredients for this recipe are 6 ounces of green beans, a 1/4 ounce of rosemary, 1 demi baguette, 10 ounces of pork chops, 1 unit of chicken stock concentrate, 5 teaspoons of balsamic vinegar, and 2 tablespoons of garlic herb butter. What's not included that you should have are 2 teaspoons of sugar, which I don't have, a tablespoon of cooking oil, some pepper, which I think I got finally for this one, and some salt. Additional utensils you're going to need are a baking sheet, a large pan, and paper towels. And then the instructions are to adjust the rack to the top position and preheat your oven to 425 degrees, which I'm going to be using the air fryer, so that doesn't pertain here. Wash and dry the produce, trim the green beans if necessary, toss onto the baking sheet with a drizzle of olive oil, salt, and pepper. Roast until brown and tender, 12 to 15 minutes. Meanwhile, strip the rosemary leaves from the stems. Finely chop the leaves until you have 1 teaspoon, or 2 teaspoons if you're making 4 servings. Pat the pork dry with paper towels and season all over with salt and pepper. Heat a drizzle of olive oil in a large pan over medium-high heat. Add the pork. Cook until brown and cook through, about 4 to 6 minutes per side. Turn off the heat, Transfer pork to a cutting board and wipe out the pan. In the same pan, heat a drizzle of olive oil over medium-high heat. Add the chopped rosemary. Cook, stirring until fragrant, about 30 seconds. Stir in the stock concentrate, vinegar, 1/4 cup of water, and 2 teaspoons of sugar, which I don't have. Bring to a simmer and cook, stirring occasionally, until slightly reduced, 3 to 4 minutes. Season generously with pepper, which I still don't think I have in this recipe. Turn off the heat and stir in half the garlic herb butter until melted. You'll use the rest in the next step. Yum. Now for the next step, it says to cut the baguette in half and in quarters and to toast it. But since I don't have a toaster, I emptied out the sauce from that pan and I'm gonna toast my bread in there. Now that the bread's all toasty, I'm going to use the rest of that garlic butter and spread it on top. And then season with salt and pepper. Thinly slice the pork. Divide the pork and the garlic bread and the green beans between 2 plates. Top the pork with balsamic rosemary pan sauce and serve. Another delicious meal and leftovers for lunch tomorrow. The ingredient list for this one is half a cup of jasmine rice, 2 bell peppers, 2.5 ounces of celery, 2 scallions, 9 ounces of Italian pork sausage, 1 tablespoon Cajun spice blend, 1 unit of chicken stock concentrate, a half a cup of pepper jack cheese, 2 tablespoons of sour cream, and 1 teaspoon hot sauce. What's not included is salt, pepper, vegetable oil, olive oil, and butter, which I think I have pepper finally for this recipe. Any added utensils are a small pot, a large pan, a baking sheet, and a small bowl. All right, the instructions go to adjust the rack to the middle oven, preheat oven to 425, and make the rice. It gives you instruction on how to make the rice, but I've got the rice cooker, so none of that. Cook until rice is tender, keep off of heat, and then meanwhile, half the bell peppers lengthwise. Remove stems and seeds. Now my peppers came a little bruised, and I made this recipe later in the week, so the bruising got kind of bad. So I never ended up using the bell peppers stuffed. I chopped them up and put them into the whole mix at the end. You'll see. Next, it says to place the bell peppers on a baking sheet and drizzle each half with olive oil, rub to coat, season with salt and pepper, then arrange cut side down on a middle rack until brown and softened. I used my air fryer, so that took like 5 minutes. Meanwhile, finely dice the celery, trim and thinly slice the scallions, separating the white from the greens. Next, remove the sausage from its casing, discard the casing. Heat a drizzle of olive oil in a large, preferably oven-proof pan over medium-high heat. Add the sausage and cook, breaking up meat into pieces until browned, 4 to 5 minutes. Stir in the celery, scallion whites, and cook, stirring until veggies are slightly softened and sausage is cooked through, 2 to 3 minutes. Stir in half the Cajun spice, all for 4 servings, which I think I put all of it in there, and season with salt and pepper. Cook until fragrant, 30 to 60 seconds longer. Add the stock concentrate and a 1/3 cup of water to pan with the sausage mixture. Simmer until slightly thickened, 1 to 2 minutes. Add the cooked rice, stir until thoroughly combined, turn off heat, and once the bell peppers are done, remove them from the oven, carefully flip them and stuff them. Now, what I did because of the bruising was I just roasted them and then chopped them all up and included them in the pan. I put a little bit earlier. If you see some red in the dish now, it's because I had a little scrap of red pepper. I just chopped it up and put it in there in the beginning. And since we're not doing the stuffed peppers, I added the cheese to the pan and made this little sauce with hot sauce and some sour cream that they gave me. All right, and dinner is done. I drizzled some of that crema on top and then topped it with the scallions and sat down to eat. This was really good. All right, last recipe for the week. The ingredients list for this one is a yellow onion, 10 ounces of ground beef, 1 package of Tex-Mex paste, 1 tablespoon of Southwest spice blend, a half a cup of Mexican cheese, 6 tortillas, a lime, a Roma tomato, and 4 tablespoons of sour cream. You're also going to need 2 teaspoons of cooking oil, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and some salt, as well as aluminum foil, a large pan, a zester, a baking sheet, and a small bowl. Alright, and the instructions tell you to adjust the rack and preheat your oven, line the baking sheet with foil, but we're using the air fryer, so I'm going to skip all that. Wash and dry your produce, then half peel and thinly slice an onion, mincing a few slices until you have 1 tablespoon. Now you can tell that I started the dish on my own. I started with the ground beef and then I added the onions. Then add the Southwest spice. Cook, breaking up the meat into pieces until beef is browned and onion is softened, 4 to 6 minutes. Stir in the Tex-Mex paste and a 1/3 cup of water, a half a cup for 4 servings. Simmer until mixture is thickened and beef is cooked through, 2 to 4 minutes more. Turn off the heat. Meanwhile, drizzle the tortillas with 1 tablespoon of olive oil, brush or rub to completely coat. Place tortillas on a clean work surface. Once the beef filling is done, add a heaping 1/4 cup filling to one side of each tortilla. Then sprinkle each with 1 tablespoon of the Mexican cheese. Roll up the tortillas, starting with the filled sides to create flautas. Place seam side down on prepared sheet. Tip: make sure the flautas are snug on the sheet. This will prevent them from unrolling. Bake on the middle rack until golden brown and crispy, 8 to 12 minutes. While the flautas bake, finely dice a tomato, zest and quarter a lime, which I'm not sure if they gave me a lime for this one. They might have given me a lemon, or was that for another dish? Who knows? In a small bowl, combine the tomato and the onion with the half of the lime zest and squeeze of a lime juice. Season with salt. In a separate small bowl, combine the sour cream, the remaining lime zest, and a squeeze of lime. Add 1 teaspoon of water at a time until mixture reaches a drizzling consistency. Season with salt. Divide flautas between plates. Top with pico de gallo and lime crema. Serve. Now I do remember the lime crema, so they did give me a lime, but they didn't give me those instructions in the pack when I got it, which is weird. I would like to have done that too. So there you go, 5 meals for the week with lunches the next day. All right, well, that's that. A whole week of meals in 20 minutes. You can't beat it, Rachel Ray. Anyway, I like this whole concept of the home meal delivery system, especially being one person. I don't have to go, do a ton of food shopping. It all gets sent to my house. All the kits come with exactly what they need. Like, I don't have to buy a whole jar of sesame oil or, rice wine vinegar or something like that, which is really great, especially being one person. I want to try another one that I heard of, Lean and Fresh, I think it's called, which is more like it's a pre-cooked meal or mostly cooked meal that you heat up in a skillet. It comes already pre-packaged, like in like a TV dinner of the old days, like in a little tray. But they recommend you using a skillet to reheat everything. I'm gonna try that one next. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.